He's walking a little slower on his morning walk, sleeping a bit more than usual, skipping the stairs he used to bound up without thinking. You figure he's just getting older, or maybe just lazy today. Most owners never think twice about it. Here's what nobody tells you. Dogs are wired to hide pain, an instinct passed down from wild ancestors who couldn't afford to look weak in front of predators or their own pack. So the signs are there. They're just quiet, easy to miss, easy to explain away. Today, you're getting 7 silent signs your dog is in pain. And number 5 is the one almost every owner completely misreads as attitude. In the wild, showing weakness meant becoming a target for predators or for rivals inside your own pack. That instinct never disappeared with domestication. Your dog still carries it, even curled up safely on your couch, which is exactly why pain in dogs so often looks like nothing at all. Number 1, eating slower or less than usual. You fill his bowl the same way you always do, and he takes longer to finish it. Maybe he walks away and comes back later. Maybe he skips a meal entirely, something that would have seemed unthinkable a month ago. Most owners assume he's just not that hungry today, or being picky, or maybe the food got old. Veterinary behaviorists see it differently. A subtle drop in appetite, or a change in how quickly your dog eats, is one of the earliest and most reliable indicators used in clinical pain assessment. It's actually built into professional pain scoring tools, like the Glasgow Composite measure pain scale developed by veterinary researchers in Scotland, where appetite and interest in food are direct scoring criteria used alongside posture and behavior to estimate a dog's pain level. Why would pain affect eating? Chewing, swallowing, even the act of lowering his head to a bowl can aggravate discomfort in the mouth, neck, or joints. And beyond the physical mechanics, pain itself suppresses appetite, the same way it does in humans, when we don't feel like eating during a bad flare-up or a rough migraine. Here's the part that matters. This isn't him being fussy, and it isn't a phase. It's one of the clearest windows you have into what's actually happening in his body, and it's often the very first sign that shows up before anything else does, sometimes days or weeks before you notice anything else has changed. Watch it for a few days. If it continues, it's rarely nothing. It's rarely stress either, though owners love to blame stress first. And it's usually not the only sign, which brings us to the next one. Number 2, licking or chewing one specific spot, obsessively. You've probably seen your dog groom himself plenty of times, a normal part of any dog's day. This is different. This is the same paw, the same patch of leg, the same spot on his side, over and over. Sometimes until the fur wears thin, or the skin turns raw and irritated. Most owners chalk this up to boredom, allergies, or just a weird habit he picked up somewhere along the way. Sometimes that's true. But veterinary behaviorists flag repetitive, localized licking as one of the strongest behavioral indicators of underlying pain, especially when it's fixed on one specific area rather than general grooming spread across his whole body. Here's the mechanism. Licking releases endorphins, the body's natural painkillers. A dog in chronic discomfort will often, without any conscious plan, return again and again to the site of the pain, because it genuinely provides a small window of relief. It's self-soothing behavior aimed directly at the source, the canine equivalent of pressing a hand against an ache. Think about what that means. He's not just being weird, and he's not misbehaving. He's telling you exactly where it hurts, as specifically as a dog can possibly communicate it, using the only tool he has to point at himself. If you notice a fixed spot like this, it's worth more than a passing glance, and it's worth mentioning at his next checkup even if it seems minor. It often shows up alongside something else just as easy to miss, how he's carrying his own body weight. Number 3. A change in how he carries his weight. Watch him stand still for a second. Really watch. Is his back slightly arched? Is his head held a little lower than it used to be? Is more of his weight shifted onto his front legs or his back legs instead of distributed evenly? Most owners never look this closely. Why would you? He's not limping, not crying out, seemingly fine on the surface. but postural shifts like these are one of the most consistent physical markers veterinarians look for during a pain exam, sometimes before any limp becomes visible at all, and often before you'd think to mention anything at his next visit. Here's why it happens. Dogs instinctively redistribute weight away from a painful area, the same reflex that makes a person shift onto their good leg without even thinking about it. Over time, that becomes his new normal. So gradual you stop noticing it as a change at all. That hesitation before jumping onto the couch, that pause at the bottom of the stairs he used to take 2 at a time, that's not laziness. That's his body quietly renegotiating how it moves to avoid a specific kind of discomfort. Catching this early, before it becomes a full limp, is exactly the kind of window that makes treatment simpler and far less painful for him in the long run. It's the difference between managing something small and catching up to something that's already gotten much worse. If you're already thinking back to how your dog has been standing lately, hit subscribe now, because the next sign is one that shows up at night when nobody's watching closely at all. Number 4, restlessness at night, unable to get comfortable. He circles the bed 3 times, lies down, gets back up a minute later, circles again, and settles into a spot he abandons 10 minutes after that. Maybe he paces the hallway at 2 a.m., or wakes you up shifting positions over and over through the night. You might assume he's just not tired, or had too much energy that day, or ate too close to bedtime. Sleep disruption is actually one of the most overlooked pain indicators in veterinary medicine, largely because it happens while owners are asleep too, and gets dismissed the next morning as a random restless night. Physically, it makes sense. Certain positions put pressure on joints, the spine, or soft tissue in ways that are only uncomfortable when the body is fully at rest and not distracted by movement or activity. A dog with hip or joint pain, for example, often can't find a resting position that doesn't eventually start to ache. There's an emotional layer here too. Nighttime is when a dog's guard naturally drops lowest. If he can't settle even in the safest, quietest hours of his day, that's a strong signal his body isn't letting him rest the way it should. If your dog has been more restless at night than usual, don't write it off as a phase. And keep this one in mind, because the next sign is the one owners misread more than any other on this entire list. Number 5, sudden irritability when touched. Remember what I promised you at the start. This is the one. Your dog snaps, or growls, or stiffens when you reach to pet a spot he used to love, or when you go to pick him up the way you always have without a second thought. Most owners take this personally. He's getting grumpy in his old age. He's being difficult, maybe even disrespectful. Some owners even start correcting it as a behavior problem, adding discipline on top of pain he already can't explain. Here's what's actually happening, and why this sign gets misread more than any other on this list. A sudden out-of-character irritability, especially localized to being touched or handled in a specific way, is one of the clearest defensive pain responses a dog can give. He's not being aggressive. He's protecting an area that hurts. The same instinctive flinch a person makes when someone reaches toward a bruise they haven't mentioned to anyone. This is exactly why it gets missed. It doesn't look like pain. It looks like personality change, like attitude, like something to discipline rather than something to investigate. Owners scold a behavior that was never behavioral in the first place. Think about how that must feel from his side. He's hurting. He has no way to say it in words, and the one way he can signal it gets treated as bad behavior instead of a warning sign. If your dog has become touchy or reactive somewhere he never used to be, don't discipline it. Get it checked. That single shift in response is often the loudest silent signal on this entire list. Number 6, panting or drooling with no heat or exercise involved. You notice him panting on a cool evening, lying still, nowhere near exertion, the fan off, the room comfortable. Or drooling more than usual, with no food in sight and nothing exciting happening around him. Most owners barely register it. Maybe he's just warm, maybe it's nothing, and move on without a second thought. Panting isn't only a cooling mechanism. It's also a physiological stress response, and pain is one of the most common triggers for it in dogs who otherwise show almost no outward signs. The body reacts to internal discomfort the same way it reacts to fear or anxiety. Elevated breathing, increased drooling, a nervous system quietly working overtime. This is easy to miss precisely because it doesn't look dramatic. There's no whimpering, no obvious wound, nothing that visually screams for attention. Just a subtle shift in his breathing pattern that most owners explain away in half a second and never think about again. Here's the thing worth remembering. Your dog's body is still talking to you, even when his behavior looks completely calm on the surface. Panting and drooling without an obvious cause is his nervous system reporting something his behavior alone won't show you. Pay attention to when it happens, and whether it lines up with movement, touch, or rest. That pattern is information, and it's leading straight into the final sign, one that's less about his body and more about him quietly pulling away from you. Number 7. Pulling away from affection he used to love. He used to lean into every pet, climb into your lap the second you sat down, follow you from room to room without fail, practically shadowing your every move. Lately he keeps his distance, doesn't come running the way he used to, finds a quiet corner instead of the couch beside you, choosing solitude over closeness he used to chase. Most owners read this as him just being more independent, or maybe a little moody, a phase that will pass on its own. Withdrawal from social contact is one of the most consistent behavioral changes veterinarians associate with chronic pain in dogs. It makes sense once you think about it from his side. Interaction often means movement, touch, being picked up or handled, all things that can aggravate an area that already hurts. So he does the only thing within his control. He avoids it. There's something quietly heartbreaking about this one. The dog who used to seek you out constantly isn't losing interest in you. He's managing pain the only way he knows how, and that management is costing him the closeness he actually still wants. If your dog has been pulling away from affection that used to be automatic, don't take it as rejection. Take it as information. It's often one of the last signs to show up, and by then, it usually means the others have been quietly building for a while. So here's what all 7 of these actually mean. Your dog isn't hiding pain because he doesn't trust you. He's hiding it because he can't help it. An instinct written into him long before he was ever yours. This isn't guesswork, and it isn't paranoia. It's documented behavioral science, the same signals veterinarians are trained to look for in a clinical exam, just happening quietly in your living room instead. And that changes something for you. You're not powerless here anymore. You now know exactly what to watch for, before a limp shows up, before it becomes an emergency, while there's still time to catch it early and make it easier on him. Not just physically, but emotionally too. This is what we do here at JojoPet. Take the quiet signals your dog can't say out loud, and turn them into something you can actually act on, checked and reviewed the whole way through. So tell me, out of these 7 signs, which one have you already noticed in your dog? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. And if this could help another dog owner catch something early, hit subscribe. There's a lot more of this coming.